guys, this is Jessica from a Dominant Sticks YouTube channel. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. It's been a while since we've did one of these videos for Day by Day, like the video game. It is a horror video game. I play it on PC, on the computer, and I use this person's Steam account and all their other resources right now. And that's what their Steam name is whenever I play. I mostly play the Survivor side. This is a new character that came out about a month ago, and I really enjoy playing her. This is what her profile looks like against other characters. I've got her prestige to level 10, and her name is Orela Rose. Now let's go ahead and get into it and about her bio about her. Orela Rose, and I've never read this before, so this will be the first time I'll be reading it with you all. Orela Rose grew up on Chicago's far north side in Rogers Park, just blocks from Lake Michigan. Her dad was a firefighter and her mom was a nurse. She couldn't help but observe how much they sacrificed to help others, and she knew she would one day do the same in her own way. Orela majored in hospitality at a Lakehead University. Freshman year, she bonded with Emily, a girl in her restaurant management class who helped her through her transition. Emily was a huge fan of horror movies, and she regularly listened to recordings of an odd podcast called All Things Wicked This Night. The host, Sable Ward, often talked about the stories of a horror writer named Cliff Barra. Many were made into the movies in the 1950s and became cult classics. The art director, Alex DeMero, survived the horrors of war and infused his macabre sets and costumes with a palpable sense of dread. Orela and Emily couldn't get enough. They hung out at the Hard-Boiled Cafe, a coffee shop and bookstore with a 1950s mystery theme. They so loved the atmosphere, they made plans to one day open a themed restaurant of their own. They would create a dining experience that recreated the horror stories, characters and sets, costumes, and Barra and DeMario, a place where people could escape their humdrum lives to spend an hour or two living on the edge. The ideal so excited them, they created a haunted house for Halloween to try out those same ideals. They commemorated an empty college dormitory to build the haunted madhouse of doom. On Halloween, dozens of students lined up to experience the terror of an insane asylum based on one of Cliff Barra's most celebrated stories. Orela led groups of laughing and screaming college students past padded cells and torture chambers filled with axe murderers, groaning zombies, and wailing ghosts. The shock therapy room featured a jury-rigged shock table. Emily played the part of withering patient wired up for a shock treatment. She wore a headpiece fitted with electrodes that would light up and smoke and spark once Orela told one of the students to throw the switch. They used the shock table dozens of times, and each time Emily would shake and shriek like a banshee, exciting and chorus of delighted screams. This time, however, a frayed wire shorted out, and Emily didn't shriek, but went rigid as her face contorted into a silent scream. There were sparks and smoke, and the smell of a burnt meat. Miraculously, Emily, still alive after Orela pulled the plug, they called for an ambulance. And as they waited, Emily's breathing grew shallower and shallower. Orela felt helpless, useless, worthless. By the time the EMTs finally arrived, Emily was gone. The very next day, Orela dropped out of college and started training to become an EMT. She never ever wanted to feel that hopeless again. Her parents were surprised but supported her. Within a year, Orela was driving an ambulance and saving lives. She had a natural talent for soothing and calming those who needed her most, both nurturing and protective. She had a knack for taking charge and bringing people together. Still, she never forgot Emily or their dream of opening a horror-themed restaurant based on the movies of Bera and DeMario working as an EMT. She knew it would take her years to save enough money, but then one day she rescued John Kinsley, a man worth billions. Called to the scene of a terrible car crash, she found he wasn't breathing. She instantly performed CPR and restarted his heart with a portable defibrillator. His doctor later said he would have surely died if not for Orela. Grateful for saving his life, he offered to finance her dreams and gifted her an old building located at 900 Blood Lane across an odd cemetery. With financing and the perfect location, Orela hired some friends to help her design the most immersive horror experience ever. Screams in the Dark would open only one weekend a month to start, each time with a completely unique set, theme, and menu. Soon it was all horror enthusiasts could talk about. People loved the Barra de Mario aesthetic, and many wanted Orela to open 6 days a week. But for Orela, it wasn't about the money. She was perfectly content saving lives Monday through Friday and creating horror and mayhem once a month. One time, she themed the experience around a Barra story about a mysterious fog that transported victims to another dimension. Some believed the words in the story were cursed and somehow made readers disappear. She laughed those superstitions off until later that night when a black fog rose up around her. She hurried outside, but the black fog was everywhere. She froze suddenly and called out her friends. No one answered. Then she heard cries for help, calling out to her from the dark. Orela didn't panic. She never panicked. She merely assessed the situation and pushed through the thickening fog until she froze up with a sudden realization. They sounded like her cries, and they seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at the same time. For the first time in years, Orela felt a shudder run down her spine, and she realized her dream had somehow led her into a living nightmare, a nightmare not unlike the one described in Bera's cursed story. And as she processed this strange observation, the anguished cries came again and again, louder and more desperate. Only this time there were many different voices, and one of them sounded like Emily. Instantly, Orela shook off her superstitions and became all business as she urgently searched the dark abyss for the wounded and dying before it was too late. Okay, we're going to look at her perks. She's got 3 perks like every survivor and every killer in this game has. And I don't know much about her perks yet. I've not actually used none of her perks. I've been playing this mode right here. It's the 2 versus 8 that's going on. And so it's not going to show you whenever I get to the other page what perks. And I'm not using no perks yet because I don't even know what her perks are about. I've just been playing her on that mode. So anyways, she's got a perk called Do No Harm. It's in the purple, so it's a rare perk. Helping those in need comes easily no matter how dire things get. When you heal another survivor for each hook stake, they have heal 50% faster and gain 3% progress for succeeding great skill checks. Look at me, my name's Orela, and I'm gonna make sure you're all right. That's her quote. Her next perk is Duty of Care. It's purple, so it's in the rare. Like I said before, I've already got her prestige to level 10. So I've already earned all her charms and free clothing too. And you can buy this character. That's what I did on this person's account. I saved up iridescent shards and bought this character for 9,000 iridescent shards. So her last perk is called Rapid Response. It's in the purple, so it's a rare perk. Or did I read this one? I'll read this one again. I can't remember if I read it or not. I don't think I did. I'm sorry. Duty of Care, it's in the purple, so it's a rare perk. You live by a code of conduct every day of your life and are all the better for it. When you take a protection hit while healthy, all other survivors within 12 meters gain 25% haste for 6 seconds. Haste increases survivors' movement speed. Don't worry about me. I've got a knack for bouncing back. Orela Rose, that's her quote. Now, her last one is called Rapid Response. It's in the purple, so it's a very rare perk. When the moment comes, you give it your all. Your survival depends on it. When you do a fast locker exit, you suffer from the exhausted status for effect for 20 seconds. When you gain exhausted, you see the killer's reward for 2 seconds. Exhausted prevents survivors from activating other perks that cause exhaustion. Alright, you got this. 3, 2, 1, go! Orela Rose, that's her quote. Now, let's look at her customizations. I've already earned the Bloody Orela outfit. That's what it looks like. I've bought this with iridescent shards that I've earned. Orela Rose. That's the original one that it comes with. That's what it looks like, the original one that she comes with when you buy the character. Then she's got Rosy Pathways. I bought that one with iridescent shards. And then she's got Seas of Green. I bought that one with iridescent shards. And then she's got Violet Clouds. And I bought that with iridescent shards. I've actually got the Seas of Green ones on her now. That's what it looks like. And then over here is, like I said, it's on the 2 versus 8 mode right now. So you can't see the perks on the loadout or anything that I'm using, but I'm choosing to use Medic in the 2 versus 8. That's the one I like the most whenever it's that mode, and I really do like the 2 versus 8 whenever they have that, and I really do enjoy playing this character too. She's one of my favorite characters, but I probably won't prestige her no more because it just takes too long to prestige characters in this game. And I spend too much time playing this video game, so. But here's her blood web, and like I said, I got her prestige to level 10. So anyways, that is Orela Rose, and that's what she looks like. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Appreciate you. Thanks. Bye-bye.